Dear friends, who is this scientist? Yes, you are right. He is Albert Einstein. He got the Nobel Prize in Physics. Who is this scientist? Yes, you are right. He is Jagdish Chandra Bose. He invented about contribution to plants and crystal detector. Who is this scientist? Yes, you are right. She is Marie Curie. She got the Nobel Prize for research on radioactivity. Who is this scientist? Yes, you are right. He is Galileo Galilei. He is an observational astronomer. Who is this scientist? Yes, you are right. He is C.V. Raman. He got the Nobel Prize for Raman effect. Here we are discussing about a chemist and microbiologist whose work changed medicine. He proved that germs cause disease. He developed vaccine for anthrax and rabies. He created the process of pasteurization. Today, about 30 institutes and large number of hospitals, schools, buildings and streets that bear his name. He is none other than Louis Pasteur. About the author, E.H. Carter. He was the chief inspector of schools in England during 1930s and 1940s. He co-authored a book, A History of Britain. His full name, Carter Edward Henry. Date of birth, 1876 to 1953. Our lesson, Louis Pasteur, Conqueror of Disease, chosen from the book Pioneers of the Modern World. Napoleon gave a medal for bravery during war to a tanner named Pasteur. Tanner means one who makes an animal skin into leather. That tanner, Jean-Joseph Pasteur, was a soldier in the army of Napoleon. He had a son, Louis Pasteur. This son born 7 years after Waterloo War. The Battle of Waterloo was fought between French army and the British army. Even Louis Pasteur was also a fighter, not a soldier. It means that he did not fight in wars, but fought against diseases all his life and found a cure for several diseases. He spent his entire life to the study of bacteria. Bacteria is a Greek word, means little rods. Bacteria are living organisms, red-shaped plants. They are present in air, water, soil, and body of animals and plants, and even on human body. Some of the bacteria will cause disease, but not all. For example, lactic bacteria, it helps to a dairy industry, even meat industry. It helps the flavor and color of the products. But some bacteria are the causes of diseases. Namely, Bacillus anthracis cause anthrax. Mycobacterium leprae cause leprosy. Eberthella typhosa cause typhoid. So on. Louis Pasteur had very busy and interesting life. He discovered new things about germs and used his discoveries in a practical way. He used to work hard in his lab with the test tubes, testing chemicals, and used to do experiments. All the time he used to work in order to help people suffering from diseases. He was able to help brewers, breeders of silkworms, and cowkeepers. All these people were helping the important industries to grow in France. He was proud to help his country in this way. Louis Pasteur was born in a small town, Dole, in France. He was interested in chemistry since his young age. He studied in Paris and became a professor in chemistry at Strasbourg in Alsace. and married in 1849 Mary Laurent, and they had 5 children. His wife was assistant to him for all his discoveries. Pasteur was very interested in chemistry and new experiments in chemistry. He had decided to solve few of difficult problems in chemistry that were bothering chemists and scientists. Sometimes he used to sit for hours silent and motionless and used to think about the problem. According to Louis, this was the best way to find solutions. Friends, it is an important skill you can develop in your life. Through this incident, we can learn a good lesson from Louis Pasteur. Friends, when you are studying, arrange all necessary items like books, water, pen, and notes. Before sitting for studies, do not waste your precious early morning time searching for the above. Okay, after getting a solution, his face would bright and cherishing excited. He used to go to his wife and friends to tell the solution and discoveries. In 1854, Pasteur was appointed as a head of a college of science at Lille. The town Lille, it's a busy manufacturing town in northeast of France. He was happy and felt that he could help the industries by his research. It happened like that soon. Pasteur, when he was a young chemist, he was always interested to know about why things decay, why milk turns sour, why meat goes bad, why wine ferments. He gave lectures on fermentation at Lille. One of the chief industries in Lille was manufacture of alcohol from beetroot. So Pasteur was lucky to carry out experiments. One of the manufacturer consulted Pasteur about his alcohol, which was turning out badly. Pasteur, by helping him, discovered many new things about yeast. We can call about it fungus. Yeast is used to make a foam or a beer. Pasteur came to know that yeast is a living thing and made up of small cells. When yeast was healthy, beer will be good. If yeast gets diseased, beer will taste bad. After a few years later, Louis became a director of scientific studies at college in Paris. Still, Pasteur was thinking about yeast, germs, decay. One question was there in his mind, for which he was thinking of answer. That question is whether germs will generate from other germs or they will just multiply by themselves. People like Pasteur believe that germs came from air and infect whatever comes on the way. Other scientists believed that they just come spontaneously and not from germ. Pasteur proved his theory of origin of germs by simple and clever experiment. He put some soup in some bottles and boiled it to kill existing germs, and heated the neck of a bottle till it became long and narrow with a big bend in the middle. The soup remained there for a long time and it didn't spoil in such a bottle with a long neck and bend, which was getting spoiled when it kept in a bowl. Pasteur said this is because germs will not come from parent germs in soup, and there is no parent germs. After that, Pasteur poured the soup in the middle bend of the bottle. This soup got spoiled. So Pasteur said, the soup in the bend of bottle acted like a dust trap, and dust carries germs. So germs
travel till soup and get spoiled. Here's another experiment to prove a difference between pure air and stale air. Hundreds of experiments are made by Pasteur to prove that how germs may be carried by dust in the air. One of the experiments very useful to show the difference between pure air and stale air. Pasteur filled bottles with a soup. He took some bottles to the hotel bedroom, where air was hardly ever changed. Broke their necks off so the air could enter freely. And after a few minutes later, sealed them up again. Later, he took some bottles to the field, broke their necks off so where air could enter the bottle freely. And after a few minutes later, sealed them up. Then he took some bottles to the top of mountain where a sufficient air was present. He did the same with them. Broke their necks off so the air could enter freely. And after a few minutes later, sealed them up again. What was the result? When they were examined, first one, the bottle opened in the hotel bedroom, were full of a soup which had gone completely moldy, covered with a fungal growth. Second one, the bottle opened in the field, were moldy but not quite so bad. Third one, those opened on the mountain had no germs in them at all. Like this way, he proved difference between pure air and stale air.
So it's one of the best example to show where we can get pure air. In these days, we give so much importance to pure air, open window, freedom from dust, garden cities. But Pasteur was the one who showed the importance of all these for the first time. Another wonderful discovery of Pasteur was pasteurization process. Actually, French wine growers were worried by germs, which had turned their wine to sour taste. Pasteur showed that by heating wine or a milk, whatever it may be, at a 50 to 60 degrees centigrade, germs will be made harmless. This process used for milk, it is known as pasteurization of milk. Till today we are using this method and making a milk harmless. It's our duty to say Pasteur is a great scientist in the world. We call Pasteur was all-round scientist because what he did in his laboratories were meant to help his fellow human beings. All the research he did with the intention to help human beings and also able to use them in a very practical ways. He was not a scientist. He would involve himself in investigating and discovering poison gas or explosives. So we can call him as all-round scientist. Pasteur was the first one to introduce bacteriology, which means study of bacteria, and he showed that it is a wide range of a study of bacteria in various activities. He spent 3 years to find out the cause of a disease which had ruined silkworm industry. Pasteur by this time believed that most of the diseases were due to bacteria, which enters the blood and multiplies. Many other scientists were working and experimenting against bacteria, which were causing diseases. Dr. Jenner in England discovered vaccination for smallpox, but treatment to other diseases had not yet started. Pasteur was trying to find out a cure for a disease called anthrax. Anthrax was infecting humans from infected shaving brushes sometimes, and it was also infecting cows and sheep in France and was killing them quickly. Firstly, Louis Pasteur found out that same cow cannot be infected by anthrax more than once. So he started to think that if he infects humans or cows with the anthrax bacteria to a very small extent, so that they will become a little ill for the first time and they will not get anthrax again in their lifetime. He thought that he can infect them with a very old weak germs so that humans or cows will become immune for the disease. It means they will not get the disease. But giving or injecting germs was the dangerous idea. So many scientists opposed, but finally they agreed to allow Pasteur to do such experiment. So Pasteur collected sheep, goats and cows. He divided them into two sections or groups. To one group he gave weak anthrax injection. Other group he didn't inject anything. After a few days he injected anthrax germs to both the group. On third day of experiment, many people came to see what happened to animals. Crowd was so much that even Pasteur might have felt nervous. Group 1, to which he had given a weak anthrax germ injection, were perfectly normal. Other group, 22 animals were dead and 2 were seriously ill. News spread that Pasteur discovered a cure for anthrax. Many people asked him to supply the vaccine, that is weak germs, for which he had to turn his lab into a small germ factory. For his discovery, he got many honors, awards from French government. And in 1881, when he came for conference in a big medical congress in London, when he walked down the hall, a loud sound of applause, who given by the crowd to cheer him. He couldn't believe that it was for him. He was thinking that it must be for some royal person. One of his last experiments was against rabies, caused by mad dog bite. By that time, Pasteur was very sure about the effectiveness of inoculation or vaccination. So he decided to try the same idea for the treatment of rabies. At that time, everyone used to die, whoever was bitten by mad dog. In 1885, Pasteur first experimented on a young Alsatian boy beaten by mad dog. The boy's mother had a faith in Pasteur. She said, "If you can cure animals, you can cure my son." So Pasteur injected a weak rabies germs and boy recovered. Though Dr. Jenner had discovered a vaccination against smallpox, he didn't understand about bacteria. Pasteur, after his extensive studies, proved the value of inoculation and how we can modify inoculation for various diseases. Because of Pasteur's work and discovery, during First World War, troops going to abroad were vaccinated against typhoid and enteric fever, and they were protected from such diseases. His work is still respected and honored in the Institute Pasteur in Paris. Now many people study about bacteriology there. In 1888, Pasteur said during opening of the institute that two opposing laws are there in the world. First one is law of blood and death during battle. Second one, law of peace, work and health. The first one is violent and second one is relief to mankind, to help humans. And he added that which of these two laws remains, God only knows, but science which obeys the law of humanity will always be helpful to lead healthy life. Someone who knew Pasteur well in his old age described him as deep lines on a face, skin and beard both white, hair thick and covered with a black cap, forehead wrinkled. It was making him like a man with the lines of genius. Mouth was drawn by paralysis, but it was kind. And more than all these, his eyes were sparkling with new lively thoughts beneath the deep shadow of eyebrows. On his 70th birthday, it was celebrated like a national festival, like Lord of Leicester. He was honored by scientists of all nations at the great hall of University of Paris, filled with a big crowd. Pasteur was too much overwhelmed to speak, and his speech was read by his son. He said future will belong to those who shall done most of their work for humanity. To younger generation, he said to ask themselves what they have done for their education, and as they grow, they should ask themselves what they have done for their country, so that someday they will get the supreme happiness by helping progress of the country and welfare of humanity. Pasteur had done his work to do well to humanity, so he knew what is supreme happiness. He died in 1895 when he was 75 years old. No other name in science is as much honored and remembered like Louis Pasteur. We can sum up the lesson by remembering the last words of Louis Pasteur. One must work, one must work. I have done what I could. Thank you.